Welcome back to Gnostic Network. This is Insights of a Modern Mystic with Isabella Greene. I'm your host, Tara Crete. This is the third episode in the multi-part series entitled Opening the Third Eye. Hi, Isabella. How are you today?
I am good. Nice to be here.
It's so nice to be here with you again. I've been looking forward to this subject. So in this episode, Isabella, we are going to take a look at what it is like to have your third eye on, and you're going to tell us how to get there.
Excellent. Sounds like a plan.
No, I have a feeling you know what you're talking about. So what I'm curious about, how did this start for you? How did you learn how to start awakening your third eye?
I really didn't at the beginning. It started organically during my experience in the desert that we talked about in the previous episode. After about 5 days of clean air and pure silence and very plain food and good water, all of a sudden I noticed that I can see for miles, and then that I could hear the sounds that I was not aware of before, such as footsteps of an ant, for example. I didn't even know you could possibly hear something like that. And it sounded very, very well pronounced, like as if someone was coming. I thought it was a human being coming, literally like, and then I looked over and it was just this tiny, tiny ant on the sand. And then I also noticed that I developed or was able to have awareness of someone's presence. And it would feel like, well, someone just walked into the room, although I was in the desert. But the feeling, when someone walks in the room, you have the awareness of that. And there would be tiny bugs somewhere that my consciousness was able to become aware of. And so these were the first glimpses of what it is like to have the third eye on. And then I went back to New York City and went dormant with these abilities for a number of years until I encountered the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza. Dr. Joe Dispenza taught is teaching meditative technique that helps to open the third eye, and also mainly the breath work. The breath work that he brings very organically, without really going into the details what it is all about, is the ancient, most advanced spiritual technique, psycho-spiritual, because it influences our psyche and it also influences our spirit, and it's a multidimensional practice, and it is called the cosmic cobra breath. And there are yogic traditions that practice that, advanced yogic traditions. In yogic traditions, the most advanced variation of that breath work is called Tantric Kriya Kundalini Pranayam, and you can go ahead and research that for yourself. But there are variations of this breath work in the most advanced schools of spirituality, in the Sufi tradition, in the ancient Egyptian tradition, and definitely in the advanced yogic traditions. I didn't know any of that. And if he told any of this, I probably would not have signed up for the workshop. But I showed up for the workshop and we started doing the breath, and I started noticing that, whoa, things are happening. And so then I took these meditations. I followed his work for a number of years, and at first was just clearing my emotional debris there, because when you're doing this breath work, you get to see your emotional body, you get to see your emotional wounding, and it helps you to clear that and work through these traumatic experiences first, kind of clear the debris. And then he taught the technique of mid-sleep meditation, which is also an ancient yogic tradition. People who sit in the dark in the caves for 30 years to open their third eye, well, you can go that route, or you can do Dr. Dispenza's or the advanced yogic practice of that breath in the dark, and then you're going to get there much faster.